I'm George from NBA Hockey,
I'm Jack from Puck Analytics.
And I'm Jeff from NHL Analysis.
and you're listening to Triple Shift. Welcome back. We're in the middle of the second round. We have a couple award nominations that have been announced, I guess. Still like the main ones. They haven't done Norris and Hart, I guess, are the two that we're waiting on, and they're all like the management awards. But uh, we have the Calder and Selke and Vesna, so we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about the playoffs because it's been interesting. The second round. We'll dive into that, and of course the like everybody predicted, the Montreal Canadiens are the first team to advance to the Final Four on the back of the potential Conn Smythe frontrunner Carey Price at the moment. He's in the discussion for sure, but I guess we'll start with that. First of all, the news that kind of started the series was the Scheifele hit, so you might as well touch on that. Not that, I mean, the series is over now anyway, but yeah, let's start with the Mark Scheifele hit. What did we all think about that when it happened?
Well, he deserved that suspension for sure. I was calling for like 2 to 4 games. People on the internet are kind of crazy about it. Like it's been super divided, and I just don't get it. Like, who cares if you think that he deserves a suspension or he doesn't? There's a guy that was injured and not looking well on the ice. You got to feel for him. You shouldn't really be arguing if he deserves it or not, which I think he does, but that's besides the point.
So I actually didn't see the hit at first. I was driving back home, and then my phone started blowing up, and I parked in my driveway and I watched the hit, and I like literally exclaimed, "Holy crap!" Like that was it was. I mean, unreal hit. Like clearly dirty. Like the puck was going in the net. Like it was. It was really unnecessary. I think they got the suspension right. 4 games is good, and I mean now that it's leaking over to the next season, it's a little bit more of they're getting it across a little bit more. Kind of like, I mean, I guess that's just fate, but like, um, yeah, I mean it was a nasty hit. He skated 190 feet full speed, slowed up a little bit, but still, just came in much faster. I mean, Evans wasn't paying attention, which I don't see why he should have been. He was trying to put the puck in the net. Um, but yeah, like Jack said, I don't know why you're trying to argue if he did deserve a suspension or not. The hit clearly was unnecessary and dirty. It was, I mean, sure, I guess by definition it was clean because he didn't like lift his feet before contact or anything like that. But it's more the nature of the hit, like when it happened, how it happened, what the circumstances was. I mean, it was just everything surrounding the hit, even though the hit might not have been labeled as dirty, although it was a charge. So, it was just it was unnecessary, and it was predatory in my opinion. It was not good.
See here's the thing. First of all, I'm currently holding the a copy of the 2016-2017 NHL official rulebook, which I've read cover to cover, which a lot of people haven't because they're not a nerd like I am. I also have a PDF file of the current rulebook downloaded on my computer, which I've also read through, which again, a lot of people haven't done. And clearly you can tell because people's uh, reaction to this hit um, showed a lack of knowledge of the NHL rulebook. Um, First of all, comparing this to other Department of Player Safety uh, suspensions and fines is dumb because the NHL Department of Player Safety themselves have shown a lack of consistency, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. And I get the frustration from Jets fans in that regard because obviously like Tom Wilson didn't get anything, and he should have. And then Scheifele gets 4 games, so it's like, well, what the hell? Like, where's the consistency here? And then of course Ryan Reeves gets 2 for what he did against the Avalanche. So like there's just no There's no consistency from the Department of Player Safety, but that's another issue. Looking at this in a vacuum, 4 games is a lot. I thought it should have been 2 myself, but you can't, like, the Department of Player Safety being inconsistent is a whole nother issue, and I agree it is an issue, and the NHL needs to fix that this summer. But it doesn't mean they can't get other calls right if they screwed up past calls. And in this case, first of all, I'm glad they went over what everybody expected rather than under reacting to it, because it might actually set a precedent, and people might be like, "Holy shit, I might get 4 games if I do something stupid like this," and not just like a $5,000 fine, which is what they need to do. So in that regard, good on you. Although I think the suspension was a little hefty, I'd rather them be over than under. But to the hit itself, here's the thing about charging. And a lot of people brought up the fact that he didn't leave his feet and he didn't make primary contact with Jake Evans' head, although he did eventually follow through and hit him in the head. But he initially hit him in the shoulder from the videos that I saw, at least. But that doesn't matter for boarding or for charging. That matters for illegal hits to the head. That's the only time where initial head contact matters, is in specifically suspensions for illegal hits to the head. This is a charging suspension. The other thing that people brought up was the fact that Jake Evans didn't protect himself on the play and had his head down, which, again, for boarding penalties and for illegal checks to the head, it is on the player receiving the hit to defend themselves. That is correct, but not for charging. Specifically in the rulebook, like it specifies that for an illegal hit to the head, the player, if his head's down and he's not prepared for the hit, then that is an exception the NHL can make. Same with boarding. If the player turns himself specifically to take the hit in the back, that is something they'll take into consideration. For charging, that doesn't matter. The only thing that it talks about is based on distance traveled, and if the hit was unnecessary, obviously, which is another issue, but it's based on distance traveled, the effect of the hit, and like the force that goes behind it. And Scheifele traveled like 170 feet and delivered the hit, which is a clear charge. None of that other stuff matters. And people who are talking about that other stuff haven't read the rulebook. That's my biggest issue with the fan reaction here, is just the lack of knowledge. And I blame the NHL for that somewhat, because a lot of people are calling that they should put out like the videos like Brendan Shanahan did, because those got memed to hell, but they were good. They actually explained the rules, which the NHL actually still does. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they do still do those videos. They just don't like post them anywhere. But you can find them, like they're on like the NHL website. And the one they did for this hit explained it perfectly. And just the fan reaction around it, and just how many people don't actually understand how the call works, and even players who didn't know how the call worked, like the guys on like Spitting Chicklets and stuff, they said the same stuff. They said, "Oh, he didn't lift his feet, and he didn't, Jake Evans has to have his head up." It's like, well, no, that's not actually how the rule works, and it's insane how many people don't actually understand the rules of the NHL, and the NHL Department of Player Safety doesn't seem to understand their own rules sometimes. But I think they got this call right, and it's frustrating when you see fan reaction and backlash. That's completely unnecessary, because the NHL does a lot of really stupid things. This wasn't one of them. But moving on to the series itself, I guess. The Canadiens played, it was the most dominant series in NHL history based on expected goals per Evolving Hockey since the stat was tracked in 2007-2008. And they're actually one of only, I think there was like 4 teams that actually swept like of their like top 10, which is, it's pretty incredible. I mean, the Vegas-Colorado series we'll get into is actually the second most lopsided, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Winnipeg, Montreal. What overall? What were your guys' thoughts on how this series played out?
Montreal dominated. Carey Price was amazing. It's just nothing really else to say besides that Montreal is super hot right now, and they're looking good going to the third round, even if they're going to play Vegas or Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. Montreal was ridiculous. Cole Caulfield, he looked excellent. I really liked what I saw from him, and he's also dispelling the narrative that young guys can't perform in the playoffs. Which, yay, Cole, thank you. And the Avs, they're kind of doing that too with their young decor, but that's a different thing. Um, yeah, I felt really bad for Connor Hellebuck. I think he did really everything in his power to keep the Jets in it, but the loss of Scheifele, who, while he may be horrible defensively and whatever else people might think of him, he's a damn good offensive player and he can score goals. So without him, it's tough. Blake Wheeler, he looked fine. I didn't see a ton of him that made me really impressed. Kyle Connor kind of went dark. Wasn't I didn't see much of him that made me really impressed. It just felt like the entire Jets offense, which they rely on, went like subatomic. They just disappeared. The Jets defense was awful, per usual. Though this is nothing new. Morrissey, he looked really bad from what I saw. I don't know. It's just kind of like it was a train wreck. I don't know what shifted from the first series to the second series for the Jets, but it just they looked like a completely different team. I don't like Paul Maurice. I'm gonna throw that out there. I don't like that he and the other members of the Jets coaching staff didn't shake the players' hands. Maurice has been kind of a baby this year, and I guess that's his mantra, but we've heard about it more this year. He's done more like national newsworthy stuff. It just looked like a completely different team, and Montreal took advantage of that. Tyler Toffoli, Brendan Gallagher. Philip Danault looked pretty good. Carey Price is obviously in playoff Price is elite. I don't know what gets into him during the playoffs, but he's something special. That entire team was great. I feel really bad for Jeff Petrie that his injury looked bad. I can't even imagine allegedly getting your fingers dislocated by a camera hole in the boards. That looks really, really painful. But yeah, it was just a crazy dominant series for Montreal, both using the eyes and the analytics, and that's really what you want, right?
Yeah, I was super impressed with the Canadians in this series. But again, I think a lot of that, it's hard to tell really if the success that Montreal had in the series was more them playing really well, or if it was just the Jets just laying an egg. Especially in Game 3 and 4, it seemed like the Jets just didn't have any life at all. Mostly Game 3, really. Like the team, even in Game 4, they had 16 shots. Like you're down 3-0 in the series, and I don't think the Canadians have this world-beating defense. Although they've been really good. To be fair, guys like Sherratt, Weber, and Edmondson have been really good in the playoffs. But I just don't I don't know. It seems like this was almost a carryover from the Oilers Jets series, because although Winnipeg played better in that series, they were outplayed in every game. But I honestly don't think Carey Price had to be great besides in Game 2. The Canadians, and he wasn't great in Game 4. He actually had a negative goal save above expected for the first time in the playoffs, I believe, in Game 4. I think that was the first, or maybe he had one in the 5-1 loss to Toronto, but it's been rare. But he didn't have to be great this series, and that's good. It's good that he'll get a bit of rest now, heading into the conference finals, and I don't know. There's just something about this Canadians team. There's just this belief in the roster, and although on paper the team doesn't look like a top 4 team in the NHL, obviously, there's just something in there. Since Game 5 against Toronto, where this team just looks different than everybody else in the NHL. I don't know. Maybe it's just me seeing that, but there just seems to be this sense of team with everybody, And maybe it's guys like the veterans. I mean, Montreal is probably the best fourth line in the NHL right now, with like the Petrie or the Perry, Stahl, and Armia line, which is shooting like 15% at the moment, which is insane. They have like a goals for percentage of like 80 right now as a line, which is just wild. But they've been really good. I mean, it just seems like everybody that this team needs to be good right now is just picking it up. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're going to be in tough, obviously, with Vegas or Colorado, but I think especially if they play Vegas in that next round, like there's a chance they can actually win that series. I don't know if I'd pick them, but I don't know. I mean, there's just something. It just feels like I just have this feeling about this Canadiens team. They remind me a lot. I tweeted about this after I think it was Game 3, but they remind me a lot of the 2018 Golden Knights, just like a worse version of that team. Where they're getting like insanely hot goaltending and they'll just score first and then just trap you to death for the rest of the game and just not give you any great opportunities. And it's the exact same style, and it worked through the first 2 rounds. Now, obviously, Toronto and Winnipeg aren't like Tampa and Colorado, but I mean, Toronto, like Austin Matthews had 1 goal in the first round in 7 games, and he was the best goal scorer, and he was the best. Well, he was debatably the best goal scorer in the league last year when they were playing all 30 teams. And obviously, we know how high powered the Jets' offense is. Like, overall, the teams they'll be playing from here on out are going to be better, but I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened, I guess, and they're going to have a shot to do something, and we'll see. And just looking at it now, Carey Price in the last 2 playoffs has a higher combined goals saved above expected than his last like 7 seasons in the regular season. And it's not even close. Like, he's still like 10. It's insane.
Playoff Price was a myth until last year in the bubble.
Yeah.
If you look at all his goals saved above expected from those playoffs, they were all like barely above 0 or below. And then last year he had like 7. Then this year he has like 5 or 6.
Yeah, since 2014-15 until now in the regular season, Price has a goal saved above expected just above 19, and in the last 2 years of the playoffs combined, he's at like 13.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. I mean, he has the second highest behind Vasilevsky over the last 2 years with significantly less games, obviously.
Vasilevsky was crazy last playoffs.
Yeah, he was, and he's been solid this year too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this whole playoff Price narrative, like, I didn't believe it. Now, like, I'm kind of starting to buy in at this point. But
he's
we'll
actually
see.
turning into playoff Price.
Yeah, like, we'll see if it lasts for round 3. I mean, I'd love to see Weber and Price win a cup. Those are just 2 guys who've been around forever.
Vegas is gonna inflate his goal saved above expected because they're terrible shooters. I mean, Demko had 6 1-game.
Oh god,
year.
yeah. I mean, Demko's like 3rd on the list. If you look at like the last 2 years combined, he played 4 games. Like, he was 3rd at least at the end of the first round.
He had like 8
last
playoffs, and he played like 3 or 4 games.
He played 4 games.
He was just so good.
Let's see. Playoffs. Yeah, Demko is 3rd on that list for goals saved above expected. For context, Vasilevsky's first with 35 games played. Price has played 21, and Anton Hudobin's 4th with 24 games played, and Thatcher Demko played 4. So,
He's just crazy good.
Yeah.
Especially that 1 game.
So
They're like shooting at least 50 a night, and crazy.
I mean, if Colorado beats Vegas, and we'll talk about that next, then like Montreal's done. But I seriously believe if they play Vegas, they have a shot because both teams have the same strengths, and I think it's going to come down to goaltending again, similar to this Jet series. I think it's going to be Fleury or Leonard, whoever Vegas decides to go with, and they've kind of rolled both, versus Price, and whoever the better goalie is will win that series. And then
I would like
you're in the finals.
Tampa Bay just won their series.
Is it official now?
Yeah, they just beat Carolina.
Yeah, 2-0. All right, so there you go. So Tampa Bay is in the Final Four. Congratulations to them.
Ooh, baby. Yes.
Yeah.
No
Nashville
Tampa supporters,
lost to
huh?
the team that lost to Tampa Bay. Good for them.
Yeah, baby. Ooh.
I guess we'll talk about that one next because it's relevant. Carolina Tampa Bay. Obviously, Lightning win it in 5 games. It's a good thing that happened today, actually, because this podcast would have been out of date if it came out. If we recorded this before the game ended.
We're always out of date.
Yeah,
New news comes out whenever we
yeah, it comes out like Wednesday morning. But yeah,
every
Carolina
single
Tampa Bay.
time.
This is kind of like Tampa Bay seems to be talk about a team getting into their stride. It seems like Tampa Bay's kind of hit it now. Carolina was pretty badly outplayed in this series as well. I mean, like honestly, I think Tampa Bay is probably the bit like would be my cut pick at this point because Colorado looks vulnerable, and I don't trust the Islanders long term. I really like this Lightning team, like, and I liked them at the beginning of the year too, but like they just seem to be clicking right now too. I don't know. Where are you guys at on Tampa Bay?
Yeah, right now, from seeing where everyone is, I have the Lightning winning. Their team is just too good. There's no way that they don't at least make a huge run for it. I think for sure they'll make the finals because
Yeah, I think so.
I just don't see the Islanders being able to crack Vasi or be able to just shut down their Tampa Bay's offense. Like you can play the trap all you want, but Tampa Bay just has too many star players for you to sit back and let the game come to you until you can get a shot.
Yeah, I love Tampa, but I think I'm still gonna stick with Colorado just because I think Nathan McKinnon's ridiculous, and it's hard to win in Vegas. I'm just gonna say that. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously they didn't look good, and that's nothing to be proud of. But I mean, they still have. I mean, they're definitely not out of a series, and those were 2 really uncharacteristic games for them. So I think I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
that's fair. I mean, the series is still 2-2. They have 2 games at home, so
Yeah.
it's very much anybody's series there.
Proving why home ice is super important.
Yeah, especially when you can actually have fans in the building. Uh, unlike the Canadian division, besides Montreal, obviously, and I mean even for them, it seemed to be a bit of an advantage. I think they're 3-0 now with people in there. Anyway, yeah. Carolina just kind of. I mean, where do the Hurricanes go from here? Like, with Hamilton's a free agent, he's gonna want a pay grade. Does he resign in Carolina?
Probably. I just don't know how much he's gonna get on the open market with
There's gonna be
COVID and
somebody
all
out
that.
there who's gonna pay him, right? Like somebody has to understand his value as like a top 10 defenseman in the league, right?
No, I would not bet on NHL GMs, at least many, with cap space.
I want Hamilton to go somewhere, man. I want him to go. Like, it'd
'Cause,
be so
like,
much fun.
Because Colorado can't do it. Sorry, you get Sakic. And then Yzerman's not going to sign a big free agent like that. I just don't know what team would be.
I wouldn't
for
be
him.
surprised if Steve Yzerman went for a guy like Hamilton though. Like they're close, right? Like Detroit's not that far off.
They could be good next year, but they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't
No,
think.
but
I think they'll be around where Montreal will be in the division.
yeah, I agree with that.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
It
what
would
else
be
you-
interesting to see.
I mean, maybe Toronto like does something crazy and makes a push for Hamilton. 'Cause
They'd have
Toronto's
to
gonna go
give
for
up.
everybody.
They'd have to give up
Well,
on
they're gonna
their
trade Mitch Marner for
big
Seth
four.
Jones. So
God, poor Leafs fans if that happens.
yeah.
Seth Jones noted playoff performer with the big minutes.
Yeah, he could play 58
Longest game
minutes.
ever recorded.
Yeah.
The best.
I guess we could segue to Seth Jones for a second, and get to the other 2 series after. Yeah, Seth Jones, not really requesting a trade, but just kind of telling the Blue Jackets he's not going to sign. Well, he actually said
Which
he's
is
going to hit free
Kind of
agency. So
which is kind of like saying you should trade me this year so you get value.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, good on him. Team guy.
Team friendly.
There's been a lot of teams rumored for Seth Jones. I mean, Montreal's been one of them, and I think them going to the Final Four here kind of makes that more of a potential fit. And then knowing Mark
Perhaps.
Bergevin, Seth Jones will actually become a top 20 defenseman because all his players just become analytics darlings when they go there.
No,
Uh,
no, they become Corsi men.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, like Joel Edmondson. Except for Josh Anderson, apparently, who got worse. But, you know.
I have a list of teams apparently in on it. The
Uh,
Kings,
okay.
Blackhawks, Oilers, Flyers, Canadians, Red Wings, and Leafs.
The Red Wings. Why?
I don't know. That just said that's like Mike Johnson.
Okay, well, I trust Mike
Said
Johnson.
that.
Mike Johnson's a legend, so I trust Mike Johnson. Okay.
Ivan, what are
I
you
feel like
doing,
LA
buddy?
would only do that if they're out on Eichel.
Why would LA even need to do that? Why would you want
Well,
to
'cause you
pay
just
Seth
want, you
Jones?
want, I mean, Seth Jones, Drew Doughty pair would be so much fun. Come on.
That would be the worst thing the worst hockey ever. You don't want to watch that.
Oh, I do though. I would love to see
I mean, from pure
That'd be
like
fucking great.
comedy standpoint, sure.
Straight Blake Lizotte in a first for Seth Jones. It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
much Drew. If sign up for the Drew exactly the Drew Doughty deal. It's perfect.
I could see if the Kings give up one of their top prospects.
They'd have to though. Like there's gonna be a bidding
They
war for Seth
would
Jones.
too. Imagine they give up Quentin Byfield for
No,
Seth
there's
Jones.
no chance.
What a meme that would.
I feel like I don't even know if they give up Byfield for Eichel. So
They would have to, unless they
possibly, yeah.
pay Turcotte in like 2 firsts or something stupid.
It's possible. I think
Just Byfield just has the same potential as Eichel does.
LA's gonna make a move this summer, right? Like they're gonna get one of those two guys. I think.
Why? They could. They have so many good young
Yeah, but
prospects.
they've been rumored in everything. Like it just feels like
Which is
they
dumb.
kind of it's because the Drew Doughty called out the organization. It was like, yeah, I don't want to lose anymore, so they're gonna trade for Seth Jones. and they're
Retire,
gonna
Drew
win.
Doughty. Get out from your contract, retire,
Yeah,
and
then
then come back.
go sign with the Leafs. It's very good. There you
Yeah.
go. Everybody go sign with the
No,
Leafs.
no one wants you at $11 million.
Yeah, maybe if Drew Doughty would have taken a bit of a discount, his team would be better.
Yeah. Maybe if you didn't hog up all the cap as a sixth defenseman, then you'd be okay.
Yeah. Who are the other teams?
Blackhawks,
That'd be interesting. Oh my god.
Flyers, Oilers too.
I think the Flyers is my most likely destination for him.
So they have Seth Jones and Provorov, the
Provorov,
most
yeah.
overrated pairing in hockey.
I just feel like that, like, because Nolan Patrick wants a trade too, which is interesting. Nolan Patrick's a really interesting player.
I wouldn't.
I had Seattle taking a flyer on him. That was my prediction.
I could see that. That would be something that would be somewhat smart if they don't
Yeah.
have any other options.
You might as. I mean,
But I
it's either
wouldn't
that
want
or
to
like
trade
Abe
much.
Kubel. But like, as good as Kubel is, his potential isn't going to reach anything more than like a bottom 6 defensive forward. And I like
Yeah.
him, but like that's not like
Taking
super,
a
taking a risk on
risk.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Is something that I would do, especially for a team like Seattle. I think that could be. I mean, I think they should take a risk on Hosang too, but that's just that's a whole other issue. Because why not, right? Like,
Yeah, why not?
yeah. I mean, he's gonna be a UFA at the end of the season. Like, just sign him, bring him into Seattle, let him have a fresh start, new team, play him with Nolan Patrick, it'd be perfect. But yeah, I mean, with Pat, like, where's the Flyers cap space? Didn't they just sign like Hayes to like a
JVR's
7-year
on that
crazy
huge
deal?
deal. Same with Hayes.
JVR's actually good. Though, that's the
Voracek's
thing.
making a lot. Voracek's making a lot.
Yeah, Giroux's making a lot. Like, where's their
I mean,
cap space?
Giroux's like Giroux and Coots are both worth their cap.
Yeah, Giroux's still
Like,
really
they
good.
have a lot
actually.
of-
That's something I found out like recently. Like, he had a great year this year.
Yeah.
Just
I
wild, man. Like,
thought
he's so good.
If his team was in the playoffs, I thought he would be close to a hard candidate.
He's
this
he
year.
looks like he only has 1
he's
year
so
left
good.
after this. This is last year of his deal, eh?
Is it?
Yeah.
I would go free agent.
Claude Giroux free agency next year. Watch out.
I doubt it though.
No, he's gonna be a flyer for no. And nobody leaves their team. Come on.
Jack
Doesn't-
Eichel,
doesn't happen.
Seth Jones.
John Tavares. Yeah. The Flyers would be my bet for Jones. Montreal, I think, makes a push. I think
I
Montreal
think
should make a
it's-
push for Eichel. That's what they should do.
I feel like the Leafs are gonna do it. Like get Jones.
That'd be
I just have a
great.
feeling. Just because there's gonna be so much backlash and the whole Leafs community will be like
Yeah.
crazy thinking Seth Jones is their key to victory.
See, I hope he does go to a big market like that, so people can actually watch him play, and then
So
see that
people
he
actually
sucks.
watch him.
No, come on. Nobody watch. Like even analysts still watch the Blue Jackets, man. Come on. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have. Like you
See
really
what
think
his
anybody's watching the Blue Jackets?
Do you unironically watch the Blue Jackets?
I did
I'm
this
really
year
sorry.
specifically
I didn't.
to watch
I
Seth
watched
Jones actually.
one game.
Well, I actually had to because the Preds played them. but-
Yeah, I watched about like 20 Blue Jackets games this year just to watch Seth Jones actually. So I put myself through that.
I watched one game. It was Detroit.
Oh well,
Blue
that's your
Jackets.
fault. You wa-
It was the only game on, and I
That's
was
your
really
problem.
bored, so I put it on. I think the Red Wings had like 12 shots.
Is
by
that the
end of
game that
or
Detroit won?
something.
Like they had like 6 shots on goal and they scored like 4 goals or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't that bad of a game.
It's hilarious. Jeff, where are you putting your money on Seth Jones landing?
I don't know, man. The Flyers does seem like a good option, but
But like Columbus isn't going to trade their star player like in the division though, are they?
no, it's hard to. I keep forgetting that the divisions go back next
Yeah.
year. It's really throwing me off.
Like they don't want to start. Like that's their superstar player. They're not going to trade him in division. This is insane. Then you have to play him 6 times a year.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they should do that honestly. Straight for the Flyers.
yeah, I don't know if it'd be the worst thing in the world,
Just
seeing
like-
as how he played this year.
Just so they can play him 6 times a year.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hilarious. Good
I'd
for
do that.
Good for Columbus, by the way. They just dodged a bullet. Holy shit! And they're gonna get a shit ton back for him too.
yeah, because people overrate the hell out of
Yeah,
him.
it's gonna be sick. Good for them.
But yeah, I mean, Philadelphia is a good bet. I don't know. Detroit would be interesting. I don't think they'd do it, but it would be interesting. I think Stevie Y is smarter than that.
Yeah. Well, the Hockey News put out a tweet yesterday saying that the Avalanche should go for Seth Jones. And
I actually was thinking about that because I mean, if he gets paid a decent amount, he could be like put lower in the depth chart and succeed there. I mean,
it's just take a 1-year fly. Like that's what I would do honestly. Like there's worse players that you could take a like if it depends. I guess it depends if Seth Jones like just doesn't want to sign in Columbus or if he actually wants to hit free agency. Like
Yeah.
Terrible
that's
this year, though.
that's the big thing. Yeah, but like
Taking a flyer on him is like signing Jack Johnson for 1 year.
no,
He was
Seth
bad
Jones
this
is
year.
Seth Jones is a really talented defenseman.
So bad this year.
He's not like he doesn't utilize his skill properly, but that could just be that could
He's
be
a
coaching
bad
issue.
hockey player. Just a bad hockey player.
I could see a team like it again. It depends on if he just wants to hit the market, that lowers his value significantly on the trade market. And in that case, I think a team like Colorado or Toronto could take a shot at him, and I wouldn't be mad about it. Just because of like the potential that his talent brings. As much as I don't like him as a player, it's an interesting project for a year. Now, would I make a long-term commitment to him? Absolutely not. So it really does depend on what his like if he actually just wants to hit the market July 1st or if he just doesn't want to sign in Columbus. Like that's what this comes down to. And I don't have the answer to that. But GMs might, and in that case depending on the team, a 1-year prove it kind of thing for a team that's trying to contend for a cup as your like 4th defenseman isn't that bad.
They're not going to play him as a 4th defenseman, though.
I think
That's
the
the thing.
Avalanche would.
I don't.
He'd be their 5th best defenseman actually.
He would play with Cale Makar, probably.
No, they're not gonna. I can't see them breaking up the Taves and McCarr pairing. But, like they're gonna keep Taves and McCarr, Gerard and Graves probably, and then just play him with like Eric Johnson. On the
No
third pair.
way. No way. There's just no way.
They're playing
that
with
would
Bowen
happen.
Byram. It's perfect.
Poor
Yeah.
Byram. Why you have to do Byram like that?
Like I don't know. I think Colorado's defense is good enough that they could make that work for a year.
I can see them trading or the Leafs trading for him, and then
Oh, but the
being
Leafs would
played
sign him.
where
Though. Like
Morgan Riley's being played.
Yeah, Morgan Riley would be gone in that case.
Morgan Riley for Seth Jones.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Because
That'd be
the
fun.
Leafs can't sign Morgan Riley. There's no way.
They
They can't sign Seth Jones either.
either.
Yeah,
But that'd just be so fun.
it'd be funny. It'd be great. I guess we didn't really talk about the Jets' future too. We can do that next week. It's fine. Moving on to Colorado Vegas. Like I said, Vegas currently is the second most dominant series in NHL history based on expected goals since
They're
2007.
dominating, really?
Yeah, they're second most dominating series of all time, behind the Canadians over the Jets, which is
That's
shocking. But yeah, I mean,
From
even
an
game
eye
two,
test
like
perspective,
they
I
killed it.
haven't really seen. Like, I didn't like Colorado's been good though. Like for me watching, I felt like Colorado. I guess they kind of fell off game
Yeah,
4.
Game 3 and 4 weren't very good. Even game 2 they got
But they
outplayed.
were game 1 they were really good.
Oh, game
though.
game 2 they killed it. So I don't know how like what they put into it, but yeah. Anyway, that was the stat from Evolving Hot. They tweeted that out earlier today. Who do we think? Like, are we still? I still think Colorado wins this series. Is anybody willing to bet on Vegas?
Not me.
I
67.1%
wish this game was over.
is their expected goals percentage right now over the series for Vegas. 67.1.
I just want. I
That's
kind of
insane.
want to bet against you guys. I feel like that's just fun.
Yeah, and then you'll be right because you win everything. So do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
why not?
Do it.
Vegas in 7.
Hey, take Vegas in 6. Do it.
No, Vegas in 7. I can't be that bold on here.
Yeah. I'm taking Colorado in 7. I think the home teams went out in this series. That's how it's been.
Okay. If
Yeah.
that's what you think.
I just believe in like even if Colorado gets outplayed, I think their talent is just like it's kind of like Tampa Bay when they played Florida. They got outplayed like every game, but they're just way more talented team.
Mark Stone, though.
Yeah, Mark Stone's
Mark
been sick.
Stone's going to ruin your franchise. Your best friend.
What? Yeah, no. Colorado's my don't talk like that. Yeah, I want my best friend. They're gonna pull through. It's okay, I believe. What are we? Obviously Nathan McKinnon's been unreal. What are our like Conn Smythe like top 3 right now? If you guys had to list them off, because for me it's like McKinnon, Price, and then just whoever else you want at 3. I think those are the 2 though at the moment.
Yeah, that's it for me.
I
haven't. I mean, actually no. McKinnon, Price, Kucherov.
yeah, Kucherov's been sick. I was gonna say somebody from the Lightning.
Kucherov.
Kucherov's been good.
Yeah.
Then like Stone can get a bit of an argument in there at some point, and Pasternak if they get Pie or whoever from the Bruins.
Pasternak could hit the freaking net.
Yeah.
Barry
Maybe
Trotz would be my 3rd.
Braden Point is a guy that I've really
That
thought
point
played so well.
could be up there too.
Yeah,
He should have won last year.
yeah, he should have.
Top 5 center, by the way.
Yeah,
Dial
no,
that
I think
hill.
it's whoever wins between like it's McKinnon and Price at the moment though, are like the 2 front runners I think. And neither of them might even get to the conference to the Stanley Cup final. So there you go. And yeah, I guess finally the Islanders and Bruins. The Islanders are like the most boring team to watch in the NHL.
Yeah. I've not watched that series.
But they're up 3-2. I watched a bit of it. I don't think I've watched the entire game because it's just I can't. I feel really bad
I don't
for
have
the
the
Bruins
brain
though.
to
I
do
really
it.
want to see Taylor Hall like succeed.
I don't.
He's been
I don't
really
like
good.
Taylor
I
Hall.
hope he signs
I
in
don't know
Boston
why.
because he's been really good there.
Yeah.
And
I just don't
obviously
like
Craig
Taylor
Smith.
Hall.
It's unreal.
Craig Smith is awesome.
Yeah, I mean the Islanders like. I guess anybody who gets to the Final Four has a shot at the cup, but like I just don't believe this Islanders team can win 2 more rounds. Like of all the teams, I actually like believe in them the least out of anybody
Yeah,
remaining.
keep sleeping then, George. Keep sleeping.
I was high on the
That's-
Islanders all year. Like I think I was
That's my
my
thing
Is
is
fourth.
gonna ruin you.
Like,
My thing is, I don't
Keep sleeping.
want to like not believe in the Islanders because every time I don't, they win.
yeah, 'cause Barry
But like,
Trotz's
I just
best.
can't see them beating Carolina or not Carolina or Tampa, Colorado,
Yeah.
or Vegas. I mean, I can see
Yeah.
them beating Montreal, but like that'd be the most boring thing ever.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that
these
series would be
7-1 nothing
so
games. That'd be
bad.
hilarious.
God, that'd be absolutely awful.
Shots be like
Imagine
10 to
if
12
that's our
into each
final.
game.
What happens if that's our final?
I think
That could
Montreal wins
be our
that series.
final.
To be honest with you,
Ryan
Montreal, New York
I think the
final.
Canadians. I take the Canadians to win that series.
would too. I think Carey
Yeah.
Price is better than Semi Varlamov.
I just think
and
the
that's the reason
Canadians
why.
team at every position is better than the Islanders, except for maybe their top end defense. But I
And
like
maybe
Montreal's
Part is
Montreal's
all
offense is
Canadian.
way better than the Islanders. Like besides
Center
Barzell,
I don't know.
Like-
The Islanders have scored the most goals so far in the playoffs right now.
yeah, because Cal Palmieri grew out his facial hair, and now he's sick.
Well,
Lou
I
is
think,
quaking in his boots.
That's what it is.
I think
That's
their
what it-
offense are close at skill level.
Yeah, Travis Zajac, not wanting to play with 25-year-olds. And what was this quote? It was something stupid about like how everybody in the Devils is 25 years old, and he just didn't fit in or something stupid. Like, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Crazy how a rebuilding team has young players.
Yeah, like, holy
Who would have
shit, eh?
thought, Travis?
Maybe if he didn't take like $6 million, your team would be better. But
Yeah.
whatever. It was such a random quote that he just tossed out there. It's whatever. But New Jersey Devils management noted cheering for the Islanders to win the cup. So, good for them.
Why?
Do you not remember that from the deadline? Like their GM came out and was like, "Yeah, we hope the first round pick we got from them is 32nd overall." It's like, okay,
He stole a first round pick from them.
that's like sure you believe that.
I mean, it's gonna be a low pick now.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be like because the Islanders are gonna win the series, right? Boston's not gonna win 2 in a row.
I would really like the Bruins to win
So
just
would
to
I.
get.
To be honest,
I
with you.
just think it'd be more fun.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
I just want a
like,
Boston Montreal Cup final. Really,
That'd be great.
that's the dream. But
Even just Boston and Tampa next series would just be so much fun.
I just want to see, honestly, like, I just want to see 2 Eastern Conference teams in the Cup final because that would just ruin, like, the hockey purists would just lose their minds. It'd be great. Could you imagine?
Yeah, it would not be a pretty sight. There's
It'd be hilarious.
actually a good
The-
chance that happens.
I mean, Montreal would have to win out for it to happen. Because
Yeah.
they're playing Colorado. Whoever wins Colorado Vegas, the last Western Conference team left. I just think that'd be great. Like, that'd be so funny. People would just lose their minds.
Yeah, hockey fans would not be enjoying themselves, especially the boomers out there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm changing my cup pick to Tampa Bay at this point. You guys sticking with Colorado? Well, actually, Jack can't because he picked Vegas to win the series. So
I am. Yeah, I'm sticking
I
with
said Tampa.
Colorado.
I said Tampa.
okay, there you go. All right, so we have 2 convert. I'm sorry, Colorado. I know we're best friends, but I don't
I never switched.
You had Tampa the whole way.
I didn't even do a bracket,
Oh,
so
that's right. Yeah, I think I'm the only one who actually posted their bracket. The 3 of us. So yeah.
am I winning in our?
Of course you are. We don't need to talk about it.
I don't know. What was that? What are my points?
I don't know. Let me look it up. Talk about the awards.
Okay.
While I'm doing that, let's start with the King Clancy. Everybody cares.
No
Just
one
kidding.
cares. Next one.
Just
Go on.
kidding. Austin Matthews going to the Lady Bang, which is hilarious.
Nope.
Karina and PK Subban are finalists for the King Clancy, so that's why I care.
Yeah. That's cool.
But anyway,
don't.
continue.
Yeah. The Masterton's gonna go to Lindbaum or Oscar Lindbaum.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no debate there. What if Patrick Marleau just wins it? That'd be hilarious.
That would not be.
Barkov, Bergeron, Stone for the Selke. Discuss amongst yourselves. So I look up the hockey pool standings.
Bergeron.
I think if we're talking most deserving by like stats, Bergeron should win.
Bergeron.
But, like,
Barkov's gonna win.
I'd like to see Mark Stone win
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because
Barkov's
I
gonna win.
wouldn't.
he's needed to win us. Like, the whole argument against him has. I mean, he has no awards. That's his whole. I mean, people don't like him just because. I mean, analytics people say he's better than Patrick Kane, which he is, by the way. But that's a different topic. But like, he doesn't really have any awards to his name, and when you don't have awards to your name, you inherently get less credit from the hockey traditionalists. So I'd like to see him win for that reason, and I think that he does a lot on the ice that isn't entirely reflective in stats. He's just, I mean, he's he's probably one of my top 5 favorite players right now. Love him a lot.
So quickly here for the our hockey pool. I have 5 guys who are eliminated from the playoffs out of my 11. Days has 4, and Jack only has 2. Jack still has 9 players remaining. He's also up 111. Days at 96, and I'm at 86. So, yeah, it's over, unfortunately.
I mean, unless the Avs
I
lose
also
the
have
series.
3 Bruins on my team, so
Yeah.
and then I have
Unless the Avs lose the series.
yeah. Well, I mean, I need them to win to even have a shot because I have Grubauer. So yeah,
I have
I'm done.
McKinnon and McCarr, though.
Yeah, it's over.
And I think I'd pick the Vegas player.
Yeah, you have Theodore, and you have Pietrangelo,
Yeah.
and you have Fleury. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's over. Jeff didn't want to be with us for that, so he doesn't get to have to worry about being shamed in the.
He just already lost.
Yeah, he's in
just
4th.
lost.
He probably just put
He
a
lost
bunch
for
of
not
Predators
much.
anyway. Let's go. Let's give him the whole Predators roster. That's what he gets.
Please don't.
But yeah, no, I think Barkov probably wins the Selke. Bergeron should win it. Bergeron was one of my actual
Why
nominees.
would Barkov win?
Because it's Barkov. It's a
Do
name.
people think Barkov should win this year?
Yeah, of course they do. Barkov,
Bunch of
people wanted
weirdos.
Barkov to win MVP. So yeah. See, here's the thing with Barkov, and I'm gonna make a post about this at some point. He's a great center. But he's a great center because he's a great offensive player.
Yeah.
He's like a below average defender. He just had like that one great defensive season like 4 years ago, and everybody freaked out.
He's not Patrice Bergeron.
No, but he's really good. Like I think
He is really good.
I'd probably put like I don't know if I might have him ahead of Bergeron. Like
No,
it's close. It's close between the two.
I disagree. I think Bergeron's better.
I don't know. I'd have to dive into it a bit more. Like Barkov's like a borderline top 10 center though. Regardless.
Yeah. But I think Bergeron's like the 8th best.
The thing with Barkov though is that he's just a really good possession player, and people equate that to like because he doesn't like play defense because he just possesses the puck a lot. That he's a great defender, and I mean, sure, like that's fine, but his actual defensive abilities and limiting chances aren't actually that great when he doesn't have the puck. But I really like Barkov in saying that, so good for him. He's gonna win the Selke. He shouldn't. He should go to Bergeron, who is one of my actual Selke nominees. But whatever. And Mark Stone's sick, so that's fine. What else do we have? The Vezina, which was just the 3 top teams in wins. It's or top 3 goalies in wins. That was it. So Varlamov or no Grubauer, Fleury, and Vasilevsky. And I mean they got 2 of the nominees right, so that's good.
But they missed Hellebuyck.
Yeah, I mean Connor Hellebuyck should have been there. But yeah, I mean Fleury. I think Fleury actually does win the award. And he should. He should actually be the Vezina winner, like just in general. So
good for him. That's something that's been said.
Yeah, and now everybody's gonna think he's like easily first ballot Hall of Famer, best goalie of the decade.
No, they already do think that.
Well, yeah, but this will
even
just
before this, they already think that.
Kaprizov, Robinson, and Nedeljkovic for the Calder. I think they got all 3 of these right, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like Nedeljkovic, I could switch out for like Hoglander. But I'm fine with like Nedeljkovic was sick this year, so I'm cool with that. I'm on the Jason Robinson train for the Calder.
I think I'd take Kaprizov.
Kaprizov's gonna win it. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. But I'm on the train. Okay, so we're I mean, do you want to talk about the Calder at all?
Nah, I think Kaprizov should win. That's about it. I like Robertson, but Kaprizov was my preseason pick, so I'm gonna stick with him.
He was mine. He was mine too, to be fair. But I'm taking Robertson. Yeah, I think those are the only awards that have been named so far. Yeah.
Yep.
So there we go. That's the awards as the moment. Next week, we'll probably cover the second round because it should be over. Yeah, it'll be over by then. And then any other awards that they name. So That's cool. We don't have a game this week. Maybe I'll have one next week. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, where can they find you guys?
Find me at Buck Analytics on Instagram and Twitter.
And yeah, you guys can find me at NHL_analysis_ on Instagram, and you can find my stuff at Last Word on Hockey, The Hockey Writers, and on the Forecheck.
Quickly before we go, what's everybody's favorite chocolate
bar? I don't eat a lot of chocolate, so I'll just go with Hershey's.
I'll go Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
All right, cool. I asked that question on my Instagram today, so just wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. You guys are both wrong. It's Kit Kat, by the way.
You're weird.
I can't eat Kit Kat, so.
Yeah, you're probably one of those weirdos who eat I don't know. Never mind.
I'm one of those weirdos that has food allergies.
Yeah, no, I was gonna.
No, you're a weirdo that just eats coconut bars.
I was gonna make a joke about you eating it without snapping the bars apart, but then I kind of figured it was a food allergy thing.
Yeah.
So
No, that would have been funnier.
No, it's just. Yeah, and you guys can find me on Instagram, where I ask a lot of chocolate related questions apparently, at NBI Hockey, and then on Twitter at Nothing But Iron 1. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.